So the Matt Mask match, big match, King of the Table, was in Dubai. It just happened a few weeks ago, and been processing it a lot. I think a big part of being a competitive athlete and competitive in anything really is that you tear it down. After we're done, it's not about making excuses. It's about figuring out where I went wrong. What could I have changed? What can I do better moving forward? The day of, Matt was the better man. Matt out arm wrestled me. Matt made adjustments. Matt did the right things. He beat me, and he beat me bad. But I have to, if I want to move forward, I have to think about what can I improve on, specifics, not just get stronger, be better. Leading into that match, obviously there's like the prep before the match. There's the things that went wrong during the match. And then there's what I want to fix and change in my next prep for my upcoming match, which is June 15th in Orlando against Kyle Hutchison, the #1 Irish arm wrestler. So the prep leading up for the Matt match, 2 months before, I was feeling pretty good. All the numbers in the gym in my important lifts were top. They were looking really good. They were just a little bit below what I was at for my last match against Mehdi in East vs. West. I was feeling optimistic, and then I got offered the match with Matt. And I said, you know what? I'm not at a new level right now, but I'm at a pretty good level, especially for how I'm feeling and how long I've been training. Yeah, let's do the match with Matt. Thinking about Matt, and he's so impressive, and people have asked me to pull him forever, but he's a lighter guy than me. It's not someone I should necessarily be chasing in terms of the rankings because we were on different rankings lists. Not that I think I'm way above him, but I should be able to beat a lighter guy. I'm like, you know what, I'm fairly strong right now. Now, Matt's been a buddy of mine for a while. I've bounced training ideas off Matt, and we've talked at length about a lot of stuff. He's helped me out in my career. Great dude, love Matt. Off the table. There was a big practice I went to, and somebody ended up using 2 hands on me, which I probably shouldn't have let him do, and he stonewalled me. Like he gave me no movement, and I felt a crack and a pop roughly a little over a month before my match. It affected my ability to slide my elbow. It's my pec minor. It was a strain or a partial tear or something like that, and I got it worked on, but it was nowhere near feeling rock solid. Every time I'd train, I'd get into like a deep hook or any kind of really elbow intensive movement, I would feel it like twinging right across the top here. I tell myself, I said, let's focus on healing. I mean, if I keep going at the gym and trying to strengthen it, it's just going to damage it more. So I'm doing everything I can. I'm getting worked on massage therapy, cupping, rehab work. It felt not as bad by the time my match started, but what it ended up creating was it kept me out of the gym a lot. And in the month leading up to my match, I think I went to the gym like twice, two or three times. So that was a rough prep. It was being mental. And I'm thinking to myself, I didn't think I was going to lose going into the match. But I definitely didn't feel overly confident like I normally would. I told people before the match, realistically, I was like, I'm like 50% right now, man, in terms of how I feel like this match is going to go. I haven't really felt heavyweight or felt really strong in a month. We're going to send it. I'm bigger than him, and I think I should still be strong enough in the other areas besides that injury where it's good. Well, it ended up not panning out that way. Now, some other things went off the rails in terms of I started taking some different supplements I hadn't taken before, and I was trying some new stuff in that prep in general that I didn't like. I didn't like the way that stuff went. If I could go back in time, obviously I wouldn't have let that guy use 2 hands on me, but if I was in the same situation, I probably would have tried to work around it more stuff that's not going to incorporate my chest at all, and so I could at least feel kind of strong in other ways. So leading into that match, mindset's not super powerful. I'm like, we're going to see. I'm going to get the aggression the day of, in the moment of, and we're going to send it. And I did. In the leading up into the match and the day of, I found all that aggression, that anger I needed. Round 1, right when we're first gripping up, I walked off the stage, I'm feeling it. I know when I'm feeling in the zone, anger-wise and aggression, and I was there. And we're gripping up round 1, and I feel good. Like Matt, when we're gripping up, I feel like he's caving under my wrist because we're loading up a lot before they even say go. And I feel really good. I'm talking some crap to him because I had to, right? It's Matt. He's going to talk crap to me. I have to talk back. And then we let go. I think I yelled at him. And then we do a ready go and we slip. And I feel Matt it felt like he crumbled like under my hand. Now, obviously, that could mean he just was letting go and running, or it could have meant that my hand crumbled his hand. I'm not sure. So leading into the first strap match, I felt good. I'm like, all right, I feel good. My hand felt great just now. My plan going into the match in terms of how I was going to arm wrestle Matt was it was going to be like a high hook, which is my normal favorite move. And if Matt traditionally dumped, then it's a solid option for somebody that dumps their wrist, right? Just stay high and then be a little bit aggressive. Now, what I think I didn't value enough was Matt's length and how explosive he is. He played it super intelligently. We were in a ref script I think almost every round. His thumb, he was making sure it was kind of tucked back a little bit, so I had to drop my angle a little bit I wasn't as high in my knuckles as I wanted to be. In a lot of his matches, when I watched Matt and I was studying and doing prep work, Matt was take someone's wrist and be offensive right away. Now, if he did that to me, he just slightly took my wrist and started being offensive before, not posting way backwards, but just a little bit and sideways. I was prepared to kind of deal with that. All right, he'll go back and then sideways, and I'll be able to eat that into my hand and my arm. So I'll leave my elbow on the right side, and it'll kind of play into my strength, and I'll be able to take it back. Now, he ended up posting more than I had anticipated. And Matt being long and a pretty tall guy like myself, I'm trying to maintain height, control the top of the knuckle. They say go, and Matt's more explosive than me. And so all of a sudden I'm on his side of the table, arm is slanted down, knuckle wasn't as high as I wanted because of the grip, and I'm trying to go knuckles up. But this tall, long arm guy is way up here and pulling backwards, right? So I'm just stretched. I wasn't holding on with my bottom two, I wasn't trying to. I was holding on with my index finger and trying to go knuckles up and post towards me. I'm in a horrible angle, Matt pops my wrist. First, because I'm trying to rise, first goes the riser, then goes the wrist flexion. Anybody that's an experienced arm wrestler knows this. Once your wrist fades or gets cracked open against your will, it's way weaker moving forward. For the rest of the round, for the rest of the super match, your wrist is like a bottle cap. Once it's been cracked open, it's never as tight within that match. Matt takes my wrist round one, I chase it to a loss. Round two, I'm like, okay, maybe if I try to improve the setup. I feel like I got a little bit better of a setup, but same thing. At this point, my wrist is too damaged. It fades. I can't hold on the mat. He takes it in the straps. Round three, I think round three was when I decided to start trying to hook Matt. I'm like, okay, maybe if I can get a fast enough draw and get in there, I can get a hold of him and I'll feel good. I know I shoot forward. He does his traditional post, takes my wrist, starts driving sideways, and I tried to still get in there with my shoulder. That's when I felt a pop on the back of my arm. Now, I think what it was just like a tendon moving around because I didn't feel any pain after that, and there's been no pain from there in that area since. So I really think it was just something moving in my arm, but it was like an audible pop. And I was like, oh man, like what was that? Like something popped in the back of my arm. Honestly, round like 4 and 5, the point was the wrist was compromised. The wrist was done. There was no containing or beating Matt in the hand and wrist. And against a tall, explosive top roller like that, once that wrist is done, even like a flop press option wasn't there because he's pulling so far back and in the straps that my arm, and he's so much more explosive than me, I would be so separated before I could even get a shoulder behind it that I knew that wasn't going to be an option. And then round 6, he's up 5-0. I say, hey Matt, let's hook. You already won 5. It's 5-0. You already won. Let's try to hook. Matt says, okay. And we're in the straps. We go into a hook, and I stop. He gets more offensive. I stop him. I think he might have done 1 or 2 surges, but my bicep felt good. I was like, oh, nice. And then this shows kind of how shot my wrist was. At that point, even in a hook, Matt rolled all the way out and top rolled my wrist from here all the way out there. That's how spent my wrist was by then. The following day, I could feel I had strained my wrist, meaning I went to complete failure in my wrist. It was ripped open. One good thing about that match was that in every aspect, I wasn't weaker than Matt. To me, right? The bicep held up pretty good. Outside of the straps, my hand felt good before round 1, before it had gotten taken. In terms of strength gains, I feel like I wasn't the horribly weaker dude. Obviously, we all need to be stronger as arm wrestlers. But had I just gotten destroyed in every aspect of that table, from outside the straps to inside the straps to hooking, I couldn't touch Matt, I'd be a little more, I don't know, sad. But that gives me some hope. Like there's some things that can be worked on, some adjustments that can be made. If I go back in the match now, I might try more of a similar style to the way Matt was doing it, more of like a posting option. Rather than trying to control his hand, make him try to control mine and just not hold on as much, I guess, in any sense of holding on, either holding on high or holding on low. Moving forward, obviously, I want to take a match. Matches that I'm getting offered, I'm like looking for them, right? If I can get an opportunity to redeem myself, obviously maybe a match with Matt one day down the road, of course. But I got offered a match with Kyle Hutchinson, right, in June 15th. We got a few months. Now, I've been able to talk to Coach Ray, good buddy of mine. Ray's a really smart dude. He's trained with the top guys in the world. He's overseen a lot of athletes' training. And we were talking at length the other day, and he gave me some things he wants me to work on. Moving forward, I have a arm wrestling table, and a pulley that's set up. It's at my gym. I rarely use it. A lot of my stuff is in isolated movements, like just bicep, just chest, just all the arm wrestling muscles. And then I use practice every so often, like every 2 weeks, to kind of put them together. I don't do a lot of movements and lifts that kind of replicate arm wrestling. The benefit in doing those is it gets you more used to applying all those muscles together at once. I need to sharpen that up. He's right. I need to get more used to pronating and focusing on certain things as I'm pulling, rather than just trying to be too dominating in my hand. I'm changing that when we're on the table pulley a lot more and going through arm wrestling motions as much as I can, on top of isolated lifts and stuff like that. On the table, we're going to be not holding on as much. Definitely going into this match with Kyle, there's a few things I still want to do or still want to try, and I have some ideas. But in general, for my general career, I have to get more tall, posty, top rolly, not hold on as much. To utilize my length, I'm 6'8", one of the tallest guys in the sport. I need to utilize my length at that elite level as much as I can. I have to use every gift and everything I possibly can to try to get a win at that level. For me to try to outpower people and control hands and wrists and stuff is not the most efficient way of utilizing my God-given gifts, right? So I need to be a little more efficient in that, and I understand that. I just got back into training. The chest is feeling pretty good. It's not all the way fixed, but it feels a lot better. So I'm really excited about the version of myself that's going to be showing up in Orlando on June 15th. Thank you so much for watching this. Hopefully there'll be more quality content coming out on the channel. I'm going to try to double down, triple down here with my buddy Isaiah, helping me crack the code on this whole YouTube experience. June 15th, Orlando, Florida, me, Kyle Hutchinson. It's going to be the East vs. West qualifier. Chance Shaw is going to be hosting it. So definitely get the pay-per-view. Check that out. We're back at it, guys. We're going to be back at it in a better version of Derek coming. Thanks a lot, guys.